price of multitasking.
Filster is one of my trusted holster makers with great offerings like the Floodlight and trauma medical equipment to keep you and your loved ones safe. They're one of the few companies that I trust to make a quality product at a good price, and I thank them for sponsoring today's video.
Hey guys, Brian Hill with Complete Combatant. Welcome to Active Self-Protection Extra, and this is Suck Less Saturday. Oftentimes we may find that we have to do multiple tasks, and it does really cost us. A lot of us believe we ourselves to be multitaskers, but we really can't do two things at once well. We can do two things at once, but not especially well. And in the self-defense environment, several things happen. Sometimes we had something that was important to us, but because of the encounter, it starts to change. All right, or there's something that we could substitute that would be of more benefit. Some of those things we're going to talk about is getting it out of your support hand. Whatever's in your support hand, getting rid of it. If we watch the videos, we see phones and ticket books and dry cleaning and coffee cups and more horrifying loved ones that are not let go of and not seen with the support hand. So this is an important drill just to teach yourself it's okay to let go of something, to push it away, to move it away. I'm going to clearly show you 3 tasks that we could do this with, and what I'm doing is just simply letting you see how to drop something. Now, one of the things that we would use, and we always talk about, everybody loves to talk about, is the phone. So since we ran Force on Force, we found that actual people keeping their phones on them during that really is a very expensive task. So we have these little wooden phones that we're doing this. What I want to be able to do is to drop this clearly and then be able to get my pistol. So what happens though is if I feel like this is important, you know, I have an iPhone, it's harder to drop. So we want to teach ourselves to drop it. Not going to throw it, not going to do anything extra, we're just going to let it go. All right? And as soon as I let it go, what I want to do is go and get the gun and then see the dot. Okay? Nice and easy, and then pick this back up. So that was a pretty easy task for me to do. Just dropping the phone and letting it go. But sometimes, and I'm not saying this is going to happen in the world, there might be something different in my hand. All right? So I've got my palm pepper spray here. I have it on a little retention ring, which means I don't have to drop it, but I do have to get it out of the way. Maybe the situation is elevated, and I've decided that pepper spray is not the right way to go. I'm not saying this is a tactical scenario. This is a cognitive stacking drill so that we can learn to get rid of things and change to the next weapon if we needed to. All right? So I've decided pepper spray is no longer useful, so I'm going to let go of this, go and get the firearm, and get a grip on it. Now, this ring seems like a really good idea, but it can cause a little bit of problem. I'm just experimenting with it to see how well it works for me now. I like the idea that it's connected to me, but also when I go to drop it, I've got to make sure that it gets out of the way. So I want it to go between the fingers and then be able to get a hold of the gun. That seems to be okay in that situation. All right? Something else that I may need to do is push somebody away from me. Okay? Somebody standing in front of me, somebody I don't want in my gunfight. So I move them out of the way, hand comes back, and then I get to the draw. Those are things that allow me to practice stacking skills and transitioning from one thing to the next, whatever's important. What happens for human beings is they often get stuck in a loop, and whatever they're doing is very hard to let go of. They're going to stick to their plan, but sometimes it's better to change to the next process. You've got to practice this, you've got to learn to let go of it. So I'm going to do it once with the phone so you guys can see. We'll do it live. I'm about 5 yards right now. And I obviously have a lot of faith in myself because I'm shooting towards my very expensive phone while dropping my wooden phone. All right, let me load and make ready. All right, so I'm on the phone. What I'll do is just set up the par time. It'll beep. As soon as I hear the beep, I'm going to let it go. I'll fire 2 shots to the A zone. Okay. All right, 2 good hits. Lighting's a little weird right here. Both in the A zone, and there it is, 188. So it's not my fastest draw, it's a 161 draw. Letting go, making the change. So I'm going to practice it 2 more times, see if I can improve that a little bit. Now I know the stimulus is coming, so this is not real life. Okay? it would be even slower than this in real life. But I've got a bit of space and a reservoir of skill now that I'm starting to develop. Let's try it again. All right. 173. The draw was a 146. The split was a 27. Both of those are touching the A. So I've definitely made some improvement on that go. All right, let's turn you around so you can see the target's going to be hard. The light's right behind it. Bit of a hill. All right, so you can see my first two hits were here, and my second two hits are here. So it gives me a good chance to practice this. All right. It's not something you have to practice a lot of. You have to give yourself permission to let go of whatever's in the support hand. If it doesn't serve you, or it could be in danger, or it could be dangerous to you, you have to tell yourself it's okay to let it go. And we don't tend to do that easily. We tend to clutch onto it. There's some pretty good researches into this area. I'd recommend following up Gary Klein's Sources of Power. He talks about smoke jumpers and their inability to relinquish tools when they need to run. These sort of processes are very tough for human beings because our gear is our lifeline, and it's important and we take care of it, but sometimes it can hinder us too, so we have to let go of things when they're unnecessary. I hope that helps you. It should put some variety in your training at least and give you a little bit more skill, a little more reservoir. You don't have to do it on the timer, but the timer just tells me when I'm efficient. It's just another coach for me. All right, guys, that's it. As always, measure, refine, and perform.